Hello, Martha Alderson here, the Plot Whisperer. So today we are again talking about the Plot Glossary series. I have several series on this YouTube channel. It's How Do I Plot a Novel, Memoir, Screenplay. There's a Monday Morning Book Group. There's all these videos for how to plot the beginning of a story, how to plot the middle of a story, how to plot the end, and then there's a glossary section, and there's a plot tips section. So feel free on my YouTube channel to look at all of those. So today I'm going to talk a little bit about scene or summary versus summary. When I first started teaching plot, and this was my first book, Blockbuster Plots, I have tons of little post-it notes, this really is a how-to, how to build a scene tracker and how to build a plot planner. And what happened was when I first started teaching, I started teaching plot using this thing called a plot planner, which is simply a line that shows sort of the energy of a story, and it's where you can plot your scenes, and you can see where the tension is, you can see if they're connected by cause and effect, you can just sort of see the relationship between the beginning and the end scenes, what's happening in the middle scenes, what's happening with subplots, all of that has to do with the plot planner. But as I was teaching, I really quickly caught on that a lot of writers don't know the difference between scene and summary. And so because of that, I came up with then the scene tracker. These are two templates that I just find really helpful as teaching tools, but they're also very valuable as a writing tool or a plot tool. So the scene tracker is just a way that you can look at your scenes and see how hard they're working. There's 7 essential elements of scene, and this Blockbuster Plots shows you how to build a scene tracker. These two then help you develop your plot within the plot planner and the scene tracker. So the difference between a scene and a summary is that a scene is moment by moment action in real story time. So it's a way for the reader or the audience, and obviously in a movie it's all scenes, but in a novel or a memoir, it allows the reader to enter into the story so that they sort of embody the protagonist. They can start to visually react to the story in the same way that the protagonist does, so that you have it happening in such a way that it feels like real time to the reader, because we're getting sensory details and we're seeing the action as it unfolds. Summary, on the other hand, summarizes. We don't see every moment in a scene, transpiring where they move, what they say, how they do it. You're going to summarize a certain period of time because you can't write every single element of your story and scene. I've had writers who've tried to do that, and then they complain later that they have a book that's about 1,000 pages long because they're going from scene to scene to scene. You have to be able to summarize, to be able to go from the points that are not dramatic, that are not exciting, that don't really have much in them, but that's important for the reader to know about. You want to summarize those so you can more quickly then get to the good part, which is the scenes. So one is dramatic action in moment by moment real time, that's a scene. A summary is summarizing either what's been going on during a certain period of time, or it's just to get the character from one location to the next location without telling the reader every single detail of how they got there. So you also have to be careful about using summary in a different way, which is information dumping, that a lot of writers try to do with dialogue. They'll try to put all the backstory or all the pertinent information in with dialogue because they say, well, that's moment by moment action. We're talking and, I can show the character moving back and forth. But really, it's just a way of summarizing, of getting a lot of information to the reader. And that's kind of a no-no. There's a lot of other much more creative and compelling ways to relay that information without having to go into information dumping in dialogue. So I hope that you'll take a look at my books, take a look at my blog, go to Twitter. I have plot tips everywhere on the internet. I just really have a passion for wanting writers to write a story with a plot. So good luck.